Hello, hi, it's Jenny Lee Sicon. I am with my colleague, co-worker, Wanda Lusman again today. Hi, Wanda. Welcome.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you. It's good to be
Yes,
here.
yes. So this is our new episode of Soulful Woman's Journey. Wanda and I today, we will continue our topic, the theme about loss. Because again, sadly, we have to mention ever since pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
so many people experienced loss or so. Even personally, I still heard
Mm-hmm.
lately people, are going through all these, maybe
Yes.
from different situations. So I
Mm-hmm.
just want to recap a little bit of the last two series we talked. And the first one, we really mentioned that, when this thing happened, we need to allow the natural human feelings to go through the process.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold inside, don't, just suppress or so. So the second episode, we talked about, I like the statement you said, feel to heal.
Yes.
We
Mm-hmm.
really need to, yeah, it's painful. It's shocked.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to confront it. It's too raw and vulnerable. We don't even need to want to go there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it takes some time. It's okay. Respect that. But in the
Yes.
end, we still need to feel it, connect to those feelings so that we can
Mm-hmm.
heal. We
Yes.
also mentioned
Mm-hmm.
last time that some tough people, strong people, headstrong, when they can be calm, organize everything, deal with everything, when everything is settled and people are like feeling better now, these people themselves start to feel it. Some
Mm-hmm.
people even went to the depressed state because
Mm-hmm.
they didn't allow themselves to express. Instead, they suppress. It causes depression. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
two previous episode. And today we like to talk about another important stage. And it's almost like, we everybody will go through
Mm-hmm.
the emotional stage of anger. So today's
Mm-hmm.
topic, the anger in grief.
Mm-hmm.
So when we feel, angry, if we hold on to that, it's really hard for us to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about forgiveness all the time. And forgive really carries quite some layers there. So I love to leave this to you, Wanda, to initiate this topic. The
Okay.
anger in grief, especially I know that you personally went through your huge loss.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you experience that? How hard challenge that was? And finally, how you came out from this?
Right, right. Well, okay. So, for me, when my husband was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer, I prayed and I asked if God would heal him. And I felt like God was telling me this is not the end. That's what I thought the answer was. So I thought that meant it was going to heal him. And that was not the case. He did die. And I became very angry. Not right
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Not right away. It was probably 6 months after
Yes.
I
Going
started
through the first initial stages, right? Like we said.
the
Yeah.
shock and then
Mm-hmm.
sadness. But anyway, I did come to anger, and it wasn't that he died. It's that I felt God lied to me, and I
Mm.
felt like I thought he said this, and then he didn't do it. And maybe I've just never heard from God in my life. Maybe I just don't even know. And I struggled,
Oh,
with
yeah, of course.
that.
Yeah.
And when I was in church and we'd sing that song, "He's a promise keeper," I'd get so mad. He is not a promise keeper. He did not
Yeah.
keep his promise.
Yeah.
And so some people feel like it's not okay to be angry at God. We've sort of been taught
Oh,
that,
yeah. Oh my
right?
gosh, I want to share my stories later, but just let you, share first. Yeah.
Right. But, I had been taught that God is big enough to handle our anger and it's okay to express it. So I expressed it to him and felt very upset for quite a while, probably a good 2 months of carrying that anger. And finally, I don't know exactly how it came to me, but, it was like God said, but it wasn't the end. He is now in heaven with me. He's going to live forever. And that started to melt the anger, because
Mm.
then I was like, okay, you're right. It wasn't the end for all eternity. It was just the end of his mortal life here on earth, which we all have to die. We
Yes.
can't always be healed at all times, always.
Yeah.
Eventually, it
Yeah.
has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was just his time, and
Okay.
so I accepted that
Mm-hmm.
when I was able to process through that, and then my anger started to dissipate. So that was sort of my process.
Wow, that's beautiful. So from what I heard you, it was like, yeah, of course, at the beginning you still had the expectation.
Yes,
So
yes,
of the good outcome, but
yes.
then it didn't. So yeah,
Right.
as a human, naturally, we will have that kind of feelings.
Yes,
And
yeah,
I
you're
also,
disappointed. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
disappointed, frustrated, everything,
Hmm.
unfairness, right?
Yes.
So,
Hmm.
and I also heard that it's a procedure, a
Yes, absolutely.
process,
Yeah,
takes
it
time.
doesn't just happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And gradually, and I
Hmm.
heard you said it's the spiritual connection
Hmm.
in the end. It's
Yes,
not
true.
just the physical body's, separation.
Hmm.
The physical body could disappear,
Yes.
but we human, as a whole
Mhm.
person being, we still have our spiritual part.
Right.
Spiritually, we will not be separated.
Correct. Yeah, because I believe love lives forever. And
Yes,
so you can't kill love. It's still
yes, love
living.
will never be disconnected. So
Right.
spiritually, we
Mhm.
are still connected. So yeah, many people, I believe, like you, and they keep praying, but they
Mhm.
pray, but not really spiritually connected. That's why
Mhm.
it cannot feel it. No judging. It's
Right.
very, very
Yeah.
common and normal. It
Hmm.
takes time, takes practice, so
Hmm.
that gradually, we start to kind of spiritually, a little bit by little, we are kind of awaken and
Hmm.
start to feel the connection.
Right.
Then only by then
Hmm.
our anger could start to dissipate a little bit. And
Right.
not only anger, when we talk about uh, uh, forgiveness, anger, and also some kind of other layers. I think you
Mhm.
shared with us last time. I still turn this back to you. I
Mhm.
think it's more layers of the feelings, not only anger, resentment, and also guilty, right?
Right, right. There's a
Yeah.
lot of guilt and grief, which I really didn't realize. Like I said previously, I was a hospice counselor for like 10 years,
Wow.
and I didn't understand how grief was so woven
Mm-hmm.
into grief. But for me, that was one of the first emotions that came up was guilt. And I think you start replaying
Oh
scenarios,
yeah. Oh
and there's no way to fix it now. It's
yes.
over. What you said is what you said, what you did is what you did. Whatever happened is what happened, and you're just stuck with
Oh
like,
yeah.
I wish I could have done this or said that or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
And you just feel guilty, and it just kind of sits there
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
Hmm.
We got stuck in that shocking moment. because we
Yeah.
still cannot come out. It's like
Mhm.
really literally we unconsciously still lived in that moment. What
Yes.
if I didn't say that? What if I didn't do that, or I did that? Or
Right.
what if somebody didn't, or whatever?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
just cannot come.
Mhm.
And eventually when it keeps going, almost it serves people. It's like
Mhm.
serves many people. It's like if I keep beating myself like this, it could probably make me feel at least a bit better, because I
Right.
caused this, I this
Mhm.
and that, so it's just, logically it doesn't make sense,
Right.
but emotionally we
It
feel
does.
trapped there. We
Mhm.
just cannot get out when we feel trapped. Logical
Mhm.
mind doesn't work. So
Right.
that's why again we come back to what you said. We have to
Mhm.
feel to heal.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
angry, yeah, definitely. So
Mhm.
when you are in anger, definitely you cannot forgive.
Right. No, it
Yeah.
blocks that for sure.
Yes. So
Mhm.
that's why so many people, they just push their logical mind, using, rational reasoning, whatever, using their willpower. Yeah, I need to forgive, I need to
Mhm.
really let it go or something. But if we don't feel and allow our true real human nature of anger to come
Mhm.
out, it's hard to forgive.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we probably feel like we already forgave, but
Mhm.
when things come up and we find ourselves still being triggered by different
Mhm.
scenarios, situations, people, that's
Mhm.
because the root is still there. So
Right.
that's why no
Mhm.
matter what, we still need to go back to feel, connecting to our feelings to let them out so that
Mhm.
they could go. Yeah,
Right.
thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. So now
Sure.
it's my turn. So I mentioned that, my loss, it's a kind of, different. It's my story. My mother didn't pass away right away, suddenly, but she
Mhm.
stayed in the dying bed like for 3 years in coma
Mhm.
situation.
Mhm.
So this kind of loss for me, it's really like chronic pains,
Mhm.
just lasted and lasted. So I was really busy. I did not want to be negative. I wanted to be a strong person, and I was busy dealing with my baby, work, family. It's really, really exhausting.
Mhm.
And my feelings, were really strong. The main feelings was unfairness.
Yeah.
It's like we are so good people. My mother, she was a medical doctor to help other
Mhm.
people, whatever. It's always kind. Or so why she had to go through this, and my father could not take it either. Keep saying
Mhm.
that, keep saying that. I just cannot get it. I just cannot get it. And I, absorbed his energy, all the
Yeah.
time. So I didn't express, but the anger is inside, was inside.
Mhm.
So I was angry about the unfairness, and then I feel like, oh, so positive people don't talk about these negative feelings, don't express the anger. And especially I did feel like I'm really angry to God.
Mhm.
God says, you are not in wanting and the needs or whatever. So all these justice, fairness, where are they? So
Mhm.
I just cannot take it. So then I suppressed all these feelings, and finally I got hit by health issues. Not really disease,
Mhm.
but I just got hit badly, and I
Mhm.
didn't feel energy, and I just cannot do anything. So finally I had to quit my job and dealt with all of these, but still all of the stress, everything. So that's actually when, I lost my strength, lost my ability to fight, was God even, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I finally was enforced to surrender. I was
Mm-hmm.
not really willing to, not that easy surrender. I didn't have
No.
strength. So my attitude was, okay, I surrender. What do you want from
Mm-hmm.
me?
That's powerful, powerful surrender. It
Oh,
doesn't feel
yeah.
powerful, but it
No, no,
really
no,
is.
no. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I still felt like I was at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then, when I finally, even though it was enforced to surrender, but the moment when I did surrender, the new door started to open. I
Mm-hmm.
was handed to me different books, like courses or this and that. I started to feel really, really hungry to
Mm-hmm.
understand and learn. I want to heal myself. I want to come out. I didn't want to stay in that horrible, stagnant state. I was so sick and tired of that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I started to have opportunities to look at the whole thing from a different angle,
Mm-hmm.
perspective. So now I also, my coach back then, she was a practitioner of the tool I'm using now. So she
Mm-hmm.
passed that to me. I started to use it. I felt like, wow, I could be real. I could honor myself as a human. No matter you are a Christian, you believe in God or not,
Mm-hmm.
you are a human. You have the natural feelings.
Mm-hmm.
There are tools out there to help you. Just let them out, express. So
Mm-hmm.
I personally started to use tool, which, in my work it's called emotional freedom technique. So
Mm-hmm.
EFT, it's tapping to literally help you to connect to those feelings, to express them out. It's almost like hit these kind of internal stones to let them out. So that
Mm-hmm.
tremendously helped me. So now I learned I can express my anger. It's okay to express. It's safe. It's
Mm-hmm.
safe even to talk to your God about your anger. You can express your anger to Him. I'm
Mm-hmm.
angry to you because
Right.
you said so and so, but now it's not so and so. And
Right.
how unfair, how, you didn't show up for me. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't came to help me, that kind of thing. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Literally, I almost saw myself inside of me. It's like there was a cross or something inside. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I also carry this cross. So that's how you treated me. you know
Mm-hmm.
so that
Yeah.
kind of thing. I even finally realized that it connects to my childhood issue. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, I always felt like I had a silent screaming inside of me. I cannot be my true self, whatever. It's all finally connected by different dots. So
Yeah.
it's all. So finally, when I started to express my anger, talk, and I had the conversation, not exactly to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So to myself, I make myself listen to my feelings, hear my feelings and express, honor and express and let them out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better. I feel like gradually, it's like it's a process, it's a procedure. And
Yeah.
that there are many layers,
Mm-hmm.
different anger, resentment, guilt, or whatever, it's that. So gradually, I started to feel the same way like you experienced. It's
Mm-hmm.
lighter, less angry, and because I understood finally.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
of course, the biggest thing, finally, you and me, we people, we actually through this grief and the loss and all these emotional turmoils and upside downs, finally we went through the transformation. Actually, we came
Yes.
out. Now you are called to do some work, to
Mm-hmm.
serve, to help others. I
Mm-hmm.
am also called. I know I am meant to go through this.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a blessing out
Yes.
of this grief and the loss.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many others, of course, not only this incident, this event.
Right.
We human, so complicated, right?
Right.
We go through all these different issues, our own, our spouse, children, family, generations. So yeah, so we went through all. Finally, we had spiritual growth. That will be another big topic. We will continue in our next episode, right? But
Right.
today we just focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
Anger, resentment, guilty feelings. You
Mm-hmm.
have to feel so that you can heal. Let them out. So for me, it's praying and this tool, some other tools as well. And for
Mm-hmm.
you, main tool is the praying. And then you
Yes.
started to feel the spiritual connection.
And because I'm an author, I do still journal too
Yes,
as a
yes,
form of expressing my emotions.
yes,
And I journaled a lot about my
yes,
feelings and my emotions, and that was another tool to express,
yes, yes.
as well.
Thank you. I'm
Mhm.
so glad you brought it up because that's the next actually I wanted to say. I said, oh, praying, use my
Mhm.
tool, EFT
Yes.
tool to set free of our emotions. And for many people, do
Mhm.
journaling.
Mhm.
Because when
Yes.
you write it down, you are
Mhm.
already connecting to those feelings. Many
Mhm.
people, they write down their feelings. It's like when they write, they allow themselves to process, to feel, and tears to come
Mhm.
out or whatever. It's
Yes.
a process. It's really, really healthy. So
Mhm.
sometimes a good cry will help detoxing because
Yes, for
anger
sure.
anger
Mhm.
is the energy. If we hold on inside, it's toxic to
Mhm.
ourselves. But then people like me, I didn't want to express, and many I know we are like
Mhm.
that, and we
Right.
don't want to express to others because we don't want to hurt others, or we
Mhm.
don't want other people to see that we are those who like to complain all the time. So we don't
Right.
complain, don't express, we just hold inside, and then we hurt ourselves.
Mhm.
It's detoxing inside.
For
So
sure.
yeah, so all different ways, no matter what, is to find the healthy outlets to
Mhm.
those unpleasant and unwanted feelings.
Mhm.
Let them out instead of staying inside, got stuck and get stagnant.
Mhm.
That
For sure.
definitely changed our chemistry inside, impact our blood circulation, and
Mhm.
then our organs will be all impacted, cannot function healthily. So
Mhm.
causing different issues in life, no matter eventually it will be health issues. But then the
Right.
stress or whatever, relationships, career, jobs, money, all comes out, children or so. It's all
Mhm.
related. So the key is to let them out.
Mhm.
Journaling, meditating some people, and
Mhm.
go to the nature,
Mhm.
experience the sun rise, sunset, the clouds, ocean, river, lakes, mountains, or whatever you like to do. Stay with children, stay with our pets,
Mhm.
so all these kind of things that could make you feel connected in love and a peace. Some people do artwork.
Mhm.
That also help them. I love to listen to music. And
Mhm.
some people do physical exercise, dancing or whatever. All
Mhm.
and all, again and again, is to let them out, to
Mhm.
feel and heal.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I think that's pretty much our today's focus topic. And the anger in grief, we need to
Mhm.
honor and really value our feelings, anger, resentment, guilt, so that finally we can forgive.
Mhm.
If you cannot forgive, don't judge yourself.
Right.
It must be it must be something like still got stuck inside and you haven't
Mhm.
processed them yet.
Right. For
Yes.
sure.
So, do you have anything else to add before we wrap up for today?
Well, the only other thing I wanted to mention is we talked a little bit about our anger towards God of
Yes.
taking the person we loved, but we might have felt angry at the person too, for them dying
Oh, yeah.
or for maybe something they did while they were alive. And we might have some unresolved issues with them.
Yes. Yes.
And all of that can kind of build up and be stagnant after they
Oh,
die because
yeah.
we know we can't finish, we can't bring that to a
So true.
close.
Yeah, so
And
true.
so all of the tools you mentioned work for that too, somehow
Yes.
expressing it,
Yes.
whether you talk to somebody one-on-one, you talk in a grief group, you talk to the sky, you talk to
Yes.
God,
Yes. Yes.
you write it out, all those expressing things
Yes. Yes.
is a way that can bring closure to
That's
that.
so true. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Chris. I
Mhm.
almost forgot. Yes, I definitely agree with you about that. Some people,
Mhm.
yeah, many people say, how dare you just leave me alone here? You just left in a good place now, in
Right.
heaven, whatever.
Yeah,
Leave
you
me alone.
abandoned me.
Yes,
Yes.
something
Yeah.
like that, right? And
Hmm.
also because of this unresolved issue, I worked with quite some people. It's like they still
Hmm.
need to hold on to that. It's almost like they don't know. But then when we work for a while, they discovered that in their subconscious mind, they are kind of like still waiting for them to say something,
Hmm.
waiting for them, to whatever, some issues. So
Right.
it's
Right.
like I cannot let it go. If I let it go, it will be totally disconnected.
Hmm.
It's like it's not resolved yet.
Yes.
Again, logically, it sounds like ridiculous, but
Hmm.
unconsciously, it's just like that. We just got
Yes.
stuck. We cannot come
Yes.
out. So,
Hmm.
of course, I mentioned last time, and people feel like if I let it go, I will be disconnected and I will not have this love again. It's like
Right.
if I grieve, if I still have all these feelings, that means I still love these people. Otherwise,
Right.
it means I don't love them.
Right.
So I
Hmm.
want to hold on to those kind of love. They think it's the way to
Hmm.
love. Actually,
Yes.
really the best way to love is really to connect and know that they are always connect with us.
Hmm.
And then, we are in peace and
Hmm.
a freedom. That's the real love. It will
Yes.
never be disconnected and
Hmm.
dissipate.
Right.
So
Right.
love is
And you're
always
right.
everything. Yeah.
It's not that you have to continue grieving to express that love. And I do think that's a place where people get stuck to in the
Yes.
grief process is you feel like, well, if I quit being sad or quit seeming like I'm upset, well, then people will think I never cared or I don't care or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
And that's not true. You
Yes.
can still love that person who is gone without experiencing all those emotions of grief.
Yes.
You can be
Yes.
happy again and
Yes.
whole and healed, you
I
know.
just heard a person mention to me lately that, oh, I feel guilty. I even sometimes don't miss him or something.
Hmm.
Oh, it's
Right.
something like that. It's like,
Hmm.
am I really, okay? Am I a good
Right.
person? Something like that, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's another
Hmm.
important point. Yeah, and
Hmm.
hopefully these, all are helpful for you. So
Hmm.
thank you for watching, if right now at this moment, or anybody who watches uh, uh, later. So if you feel helpful, if you feel resonated, we will appreciate if you can share this video to let more people get some support. If you
Hmm.
have challenging situation, do feel free to reach out, and we will put our contact information there for you. So that's all for today. Thank you so much again, Wanda, for joining me and share your wisdom and experiences.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a blessing. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Send love to all. If you are
Hmm.
experiencing, know that you're not alone. You get a lot of support. You are connected to
Hmm.
love. It's never leave you.
Mhm.
Okay, bye for now. See you next time.
Okay.